Alright, welcome to Final Fantasy X. This is a game that I have been wanting to do a playthrough of for a really long time. I probably would say this is my favorite game of all time. I've played it so many times, finished it probably 3 or 4 times. I even have some old save files from when I was giving the game a really tough grind. I was trying to get a full 100% run. Don't think I ever finished it. Maybe I will in the future. But in this run, I'm specifically going to be doing the Masters Challenge. If you're not familiar with that, don't worry. I'm going to kind of go over what the Masters Challenge is and kind of explain it in more detail in a bit. But just understand that it is essentially a change in the way that the game is played entirely. The enemies are changed. The combat is changed, your APs, everything is changed. So I'm essentially doing a blind playthrough of this. I have watched Danjio8 play this up to the Clicker boss, I think. Maybe a little bit past that, but I didn't go too much farther because I knew that I wanted to do my own run. So I will use this opportunity to kind of hand off to myself in post commentary and describe what the mod does and all the changes that were made. And hopefully it all makes sense. If you have any questions about what's going on, just let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to explain it. You can also find a link to the mod in the description. I'll be sure to put that in there. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy watching and take it over. Thanks, me. There's a ton of information to go over and not a ton of time to get into it, so I'm going to brush through this as quick as I can. The Master mod is meant to be a grindless mod that makes the game more challenging by changing stats, levels, abilities, and the sphere grid to force you to bend to the game's rules. This means no overleveling, as the only way to gain AP is through boss battles. Also, you gain no gil, items, or equipment from battles, meaning the only way to get stronger is to progress. Items are still given to you by chests and NPCs as normal, although some of the items may have been changed as far as what's in the chests or given by the NPCs. Enemies have been reworked in this mod in a few different ways, giving them new abilities, stats, and weaknesses, mostly the elemental type. The mod also states that in the late game you're incentivized to customize your gear however you want, but you'll be limited in your customization as you only have so many items to work with. This is not meant to be a fresh coat of paint on Final Fantasy X, but rather a struggle for you to find efficient ways to complete the game in a much more challenging environment. For my own playthrough, I'll be trying to cut in and out of live and post commentary to talk about what changes the developer of the mod made to each boss fight, along with any interesting random encounters I run into. There's a lot to go over, and it'll take me more than one episode to get the basic changes of the mod out, but I'll be sprinkling it in as much as I can, whether through on-screen text or post commentary. I don't want to spoil anything for myself, so I think that's the best way to do it. I'll use a bit of this time to go over the initial stat changes of Tidus compared to the main game. Tidus's agility was lowered from 10 to 6, his defense from 10 to 8, and his initial armor was removed. He was, however, given an increased initial magic rating from 5 to 15. Don't want to go over any other characters just yet, although I plan on going over them as soon as they're introduced. Going forward, I'll be using this indicator in the top left to tell you if the current commentary is live or in post, so there's no confusion on whether I'm talking while recording or while looking at the mod changes. And once again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or you can read through the mod yourself through the link in the description.
Get out of my... Some can't wait to die.
I'm assuming I'm going to cut back to myself here for a second. I will try to read all of the tutorials off and make sense of them the best I can in the live commentary, but if I don't do a great job, I'll try to go back over it in post commentary to explain more of what I was talking about. So overdrive reset. In this mod, all your overdrive gauges are reset to 0 at the start of every boss fight. To use overdrives, you must build up the gauge within the fight itself. So that kind of makes sense. I know that... Oh gosh, I don't think I remember how to do this. It's been so long since I've done Orange Overdrive. Okay, there's a few other changes that I wanted to go over. I don't know if those are necessarily listed in the patch notes, or if they are, it's pretty hard to find. The patch notes are pretty lengthy and take a lot of information in at the same time, in a sense. So really quick, some of the changes that were made. Tidus's overdrives in the normal game, you might know, you unlock by using his overdrives. The more you use his overdrives, the more of his overdrives that you get. In this version, you start off with 2 of his overdrives. You get Slice and Dice and Viral Cut. Then once you use one of the overdrives, they will give you access to Splitting Rain. I don't remember the name of it, but one of the ones you never really use. And then later on, we will get access to Blitz Ace, as in like later on in this episode. So his overdrives are no longer reliant on you using his overdrives. They give you access to all of them in the run. Then I think the same for Orin. I'm not sure if all of his overdrives are still locked behind the eject spheres that you find throughout Spira, or if it's just going to kind of slowly unlock, and we won't find out for a while until we meet him in Luca, obviously. Those are a couple of the changes that you'll need to be familiar with. Then, and I probably mentioned it already earlier, there's also changes to the sphere grid. So the sphere grid does not use the same exact layout as what it was in the main game. That means that some of the nodes may give you more or less of the stat, and then some of the nodes are not the same as what they are in the main game. Finally, there are changes to the price of items in the shop. I will try to go over all of those in the future, but for right now, what I'll do is when we go to a shop, if an item had the price changed on it, I will put up on screen what the original price of the item was in the game, and then what the price is here in the mod. Maybe like the first technical challenge of mod. I really appreciate that they gave Orin a counterattacking weapon, because it sped this little bit of the game up. Not by much, but
That.
What?
Trust me, you'll.
sorry, I'll try not to skip the like what little bit of dialogue there is, if I can. Kind of like a force of habit from all the times that I've played this. Although I don't think it matters too much. Alright, and I'll use this time to just talk about what my upload schedule and what my plans are with the run. That way I am upfront about it early on in the series. So as of right now, this run will be uploaded every Friday. That will take over a slot on my channel that I'm using for Satisfactory, so that will go down to 2 uploads a week. This will take over the Friday spot. Also, I wanted to mention that post commentary is not going to take over just because there's like dead silence while I'm recording. There are just going to be times where there's nothing for me to talk about, and I don't want to try to fill that with post commentary per se. I will try to use that time to talk about some of the changes that are going on in the mod, but realistically, there's just going to be times where I'm doing things in the run and there is nothing for me to talk about. So don't expect there to always be commentary during the run. I will try to fill in the dead space the best that I can, but I can't make any promises that there will always be something to talk about. If you have played Final Fantasy X before, you know there is a ton of fluff in this game, and it is very tough to get through all of it. I am using the cutscene remover. I think I talk about it a little bit during the live commentary, so that will cut down our time by a ton. And I'm aware that the mod has an issue. I think it's a mix of the cutscene remover and the Masters mod, but I'm not sure. the music is going to be kind of weird. Like, it won't always switch like when it's supposed to. I did want to like have the music on, but um, I might just add it in post, maybe just to make it a little bit louder. We'll see. But the music is like genuinely one of my favorite things in the game, so I would love to keep that in. And one more thing quickly about the commentary. I'm noticing as I'm editing that the game is a little bit louder than me and it's a little bit harder to hear me. I'll fix that in the next episode. I wouldn't say it's impossible to hear me, but I don't want to turn the game up too much to make it so that I'm just loud enough to be heard. So just bear with me. It always takes a little bit for me to get all of my settings right, and I have not recorded Final Fantasy X before, so just give me some time. If there is an issue that you're noticing with the video, let me know. As always, I will always try to make the content as good as I can, but sometimes I'm just limited by my own incompetence and ability to notice when something's not going well. We're on good pace for our speed run. I think normally that's supposed to take 3 hits to get through that boss fight. We got a lucky crit. Hopefully that happens a lot in this playthrough, because I have a feeling that crits like make or break whether or not you do well. Not saying that like you can't win the fights. Like, the way the mod was kind of explained in the thing that I read was that like you don't need to get lucky or anything to win your fights, but getting lucky in your fights will probably help you a lot. And like I say, it's been so long since I've played. I mean, you saw my save file. My save file is almost 2 years old. It might be even at 2 years old, as I think it was July 2022, so it's a little over 2 years old since the last time I played this game. So it's gonna take me, and that was a save file that I was 66 hours into. That's not even considering that I haven't played the beginning of the game in so long. So I understand this is supposed to be the first challenge of the mod. So we're gonna fight quick here. Like I said, I did watch a video on how this is done already, essentially. I did not change my overdrive though. I don't know how much that's gonna matter. And I forgot to guard there. So my understanding is that you're just supposed to attack and then guard and then attack and then guard. You can't heal, so until Riku shows up, trying to do your best to stay alive. And again, like a good crit here would be super helpful. Hopefully we don't die because of that small mistake that we made. Okay. Oh wow, we barely booted out of that. We could still die though. On my side? Cool. If it gets to go first. So there's no steal in the mod. You have to work with the items that you are given. that is definitely something that you have to keep in mind. I'm going to go on a regular potion. Yeah, that should be fine. And then we'll just have Riku heal Titus as well. I am a Titus enjoyer, but his name is Titus. Sadly. That's interesting. She has something on her weapon. That's poison touch. Interesting. Perfect. So, from this point forward, I have not seen anything about the game. So, and you may have seen on the reward screen there that I got 99 ability spheres and 99 what was it? Skill spheres or something. I don't remember what it was. So the mod, it's supposed to be grindless. So you actually, I probably explained this already, but you're not gonna get any
We'll go as soon as
AP for battles except for the boss battles. So the idea is that by only giving you enough AP to go through the sphere grid with by only giving you enough AP to use the sphere grid, you like to the point that the mod maker wants you to, you are that's how the challenge is going to kind of go. I do want to look at the sphere grid a little bit, just like the earlier levels. I know some of these stats have been changed if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it looks like I think like some of these used to be 2 strength. You do get haste really early on, which is awesome, but also a little scary because it means you're gonna need to be using haste a lot and probably hasting the right characters. But we'll continue on. I'm not sure how much of the gameplay will be like live commentary versus post commentary. I have an idea for how I want to do commentary over certain parts, but things like the boss battles, which are kind of the most important part of the mod, I actually wanted to go in and like explain the changes that are going to be happening. As in, you know, did the what did the mod maker change about the boss? Did it give it more strength? Did it give it more HP? Like all that kind of stuff. And if I do that before I actually play through that part, then obviously I'll know what was changed about the boss, and that won't be as entertaining in my mind. So I'll probably have to do post commentary to make sure that I'm not spoiling anything for myself, but I do want to explain the changes that are made as they're happening. So I'm not sure, like I said, how much of this is going to be live commentary versus post commentary, or you know, like how I'm going to split the episodes up just yet. But if there's ever just kind of like areas of silence, there's not much to be talking about, I'm gonna just blast through the game as quick as I can. Kind of talk about the boss fights, and hopefully, if you're planning on doing a master's run, this is somewhat helpful to you. It's a good timing for a crit. But yeah, so normally I think this battle would actually get you a level up if you had a random encounter on the way in, but since since the mod is made the way that it is, you get no AP for battles. Again, it's probably something that I talked about in the post commentary, or if I haven't, I'll cut to it now. But essentially, you do have to get every character into every battle. Otherwise, you will fall behind on levels. So that is something that's going to be a little difficult to manage, I think, once you have the full party. And this fight will be interesting. So this is going to be my first actual kind of blind take at a boss fight. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to do my best not to immediately die. I'm going to assume that poisoning this is possible. Looks like it is, but not guaranteed poison touch. I feel like guarding would be good, but let's see what this says. This says attacks with Nautilus charge after backing. Okay, so that's probably just something to be wary of. Let's just go in, start getting some damage on it. Hopefully this poison sticks this time. Okay, maybe it can't be poison then. We can use a turn to heal here. I don't want to die too early on. I'd like to at least like make it to Besaid before I die at all, if possible. But I don't know how hard this boss fight's gonna be. In this mod, status touch abilities will never work on bosses. Strike may sometimes work. Yeah, that explains it. I guess this would have been a good time to actually heal instead of when I did, but I thought I would be able to swim up to it. Okay. Riku is already dead. I should have guarded. Wasn't thinking. But again, you know, this is the mod. Like you have to be more conscious of what you're doing. Venus is now dead. We may have to restart this already because I made a mistake early on, which is really funny. I was really banking on not dying immediately. I meant to this. But maybe I can turn it around. I'm so used to not using the guard function that it's probably gonna take me a while to remember that I need to do it. Riku's getting a lot of crits. Odd. Maybe her luck stat is a bit higher than Edis's. Okay, so this time don't let him plow into you for 400 damage. Okay, that was a bit better. Still hurt. Probably just use both of Riku's turns to heal up, I think. To my knowledge, it shouldn't be too hard to get more healing items and whatnot, but actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like since you don't get Gil or AP from boss battle or anything but boss battles, like it's possible that you might not be able to buy very much. Okay. Well, we have an overdrive, so We need to get another heal in. This is 700 HP. We should be able to kill it. Maybe not. I thought that was gonna do like 400 or 500. Fortunately, we get 2 turns. I was just hoping to not have to use another potion. Yeah, I was expecting. This is pretty rough. I think that missing that one defend that I did is going to hurt me quite a bit in the long run because of how much I had to use to get back on track. And now, like, I don't even think I can kill it in 2 hits, which means I have to heal here for my last 2 potions. We'll have the attack, obviously. If it does another Nautilus charge, trouble. Should be okay though. Yeah, I definitely made a mistake there. I'm hoping that's not going to cost me in the long run because I had to use the last of my potions, but okay, so we got a lot of items that we can use, so that's good. Can you access this? Right. But we did beat the boss. That's kind of all that mattered, right? We're just hoping to not get a random encounter. Also, why is everybody playing blitzball in the open here? Okay. Well, we made it back. I totally just realized that I had access to cheer, and I was definitely supposed to be using cheer. This is what I mean is, you know, it's gonna take me a while to get this mod down. Alright. So, there is no reason to grab any of the sigils or anything. The celestial, I don't know if the celestial weapons are removed, or you just can't. Oh, okay. So I guess it was good that I came over here. Yeah, so everything, all the chests that are sigils, if I remember what I read correctly, are now just regular items. So if you go grab a sigil, it will end up just being an item. And the reward for playing blitzball is now, I don't think the chest's down here, but I'm just gonna double check. The reward for winning in blitzball tournaments is sigils, which don't do anything. So there is, to my knowledge, no reason to play blitzball aside from the one forced game. But yeah, well, maybe we'll still play a game or two. Who knows? Not having all of the cutscenes between each of the save spheres is like so weird, because like normally at this point you're probably about 2 or 3 hours into the game, I would say, and so like the save spheres feel well paced out, but without any of the cutscenes, there's just nothing to space this save sphere out, so you just kind of find them all over the place. I'm definitely going to do my best to grab all of the chests that I remember where they're, like, that I can remember where they're at. But I'll be honest, I don't think that I know where every chest in the game is. So. There is no escape or flee. You can't leave a random encounter or any sort of encounter. So if you are on your way somewhere and do a hard random encounter, like you either die or you win the encounter. There is no in between. So you do need to be very conscious of your resources for that reason. Did we get ambushed twice in a row, or did I just get destroyed by piranhas? Yeah, I'm imagining that getting ambushed in this mod is going to be a huge pain. Like every time you get ambushed, it's just a huge tax on what little bit of resources you have. Even right now, I may have to use that potion that I found to stay alive, because if I get ambushed again, I'm dead. And I think I only had 2 Phoenix Downs. I used both of them in that last fight. I have 1 more, actually. I don't think I can make it through another fight without going here. Maybe this chest will have their potion in it. I can grab it before I get another encounter. Count it up. Okay. But maybe I'm not getting ambushed. Well, I got ambushed in the last fight, but maybe I'm not getting ambushed. It's just that the fish are faster than me. Sadly, I don't have anything to heal Waka up with, so I think if he dies, I will have to return to the save sphere and start again. I think there's a chest to my left, but I don't think I have the ability to go after it. I'm probably going to get another random encounter right about now. Yep. And Waka takes 1 more hit, he's probably dead. We're gonna have to make it to the next save sphere without getting another random encounter. There's no way. We're really close to the checkpoint, fortunately. Yeah. But if we were even, I don't know, 15 feet back from there, we were definitely not going to do very well. But that shows how resource intensive you have to be in this mod. Like I said, I may have made a mistake by just in that 1 boss fight that is going to cost me in the near future for who knows how long. That is our first shop, I believe. We have 300 gil to work with. I don't think there's anything to get you more gil around here. Maybe one of these chests do, I think. Okay, we got a couple of potions. Okay. So we have 700 gil to work with for that shop. Obviously, I'm not going to go buy it right this second. can always go into the shop later, but I want to consider... once I grab all the chests in Besaid here, then I'll consider what I'm gonna buy. That way I find like another 5 potions, and probably don't need to get any more, but
Go present yourself to the...
I will say without the cutscenes, it is hard to remember where you're supposed to be going. But that's more so my game knowledge and less so a issue of mod, obviously. I've played this game enough that I think I remember most of the middle game more than anything. The early game obviously like doesn't really stick out to me. Should be able to go back to Waka now. I'm deciding between whether or not I want to just kind of cut between these
Sorry,
sort
man.
of
No,
story bits, I guess. Like me running back and forth between everything. The Cloister of Trials, I do know. What I'm going to do is anytime we have a Cloister of Trials in a video, the cloister will get moved to the end of the video. So instead of you watching me do the Cloister Trials, if you want to watch it, you can. It will be at the end. But otherwise, I'm just going to skip over it. And it'll be... That way you don't have to watch this is kind of I think the most boring part of the game. So... not that. You know?
hey,
Unit
over here.
out. There's our buddy Kamari. I never noticed Kamari standing there. I'm gonna keep all the names the same. You can actually I read that you can change the names of the other character like Waka and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna
Stay
away from this.
Stay away from the summoner.
I think I like remember. Okay, no.
Good.
I
Sleep tight.
remember as a kid playing this, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I couldn't figure out that you had to talk to Waka there. And I think I heard that lady stay away from the summoner for probably about 30 minutes before I
Where's
just like
that
left the
boat?
game and accepted that I wasn't going to continue. Which is a common theme of why I've only finished the game a handful of times. Among some other things I'll probably get into when I get to those points in the game from what I remember. But I was told to get away from the summoner quite a bit. So I'm going to go back in. I want to go to the shop. And we do have Yuna in the party now. I'm going to assume he has access here in Asuna. And I guess you can't use it outside of combat. That is... I didn't read that yet. Okay. So... I mean, all of this stuff will be in the shop later on, assuming there's nothing changed about it. Oh, and I did forget... I forgot to get the overdrive from the dog. Whoops. Yeah, you know, well, that's part of the playthrough, right? You gotta Gotta be knowledgeable. I was not knowledgeable in that moment. Okay.
Here comes one now. Hey, why don't you try out that sword I gave you?
So let's see. Okay, we can't. I wanted to check and see what kind of stats this thing had. Since everything is obviously changed on the weapons.
Not too shabby. You kept up. Might make a good...
Be sure to do that after the battle.
A fly!
It's really funny that they took out the bit where Waka has to be the kill it. So we get First Strike, Lightning Strike, Water Strike. Waka's has Alchemy, which I don't remember what it does, but I'll put it on screen for a second. Yuna comes with some Ice Ward. Then we got the Nimbus Rod, which is going to give us Magic Booster, Double Overdrive, Silence versus half MP cost. I'm not sure which one of those is going to be better than Lulu's just got. Basic. I recently found out that there's a speed run for filling the flan with Fetus before Lulu comes into combat.
If you can't beat him down,
Magic?
let's have our black maid. Lou, you're up.
Clueless, aren't you?
Which is interesting. I'm not sure how long the speed run takes. Okay, so when using a weapon that has multiple elemental strikes on it, the enemy's weakest element will be targeted. You can even hit multiple weaknesses at once. As for null spells, only if all relevant null spells are present will they be As for null spells, only if all relevant null spells are present, they will all be consumed at once to block the attack.
Spells of ice work well, and ice fiends are weak. You follow?
I get fire and ice.
Lightning and water are. This one here is.
Guessing because Titus has First Strike. You got to hit first. Well, this is like super obnoxious. What is that? I was not expecting this to such a pain. Oh, and it has counter casting. Okay, that is good to know. We should just be able to kill it with a different spell, which is what I should have done in the first place. But that was more obnoxious than was helpful. I didn't realize it had a counter casting magic. So I will. I change. I guess I can't change who's in the party currently. I really don't want to use my potions, but I'm gonna get cooked in the Kamari fight if I don't. I have to. Maybe using a high potion there wasn't. Oh, that's awkward. -1 potion.
It's an ancient custom. Chapu didn't.
We'll pray. We're gonna need the luck on this run.
That should do.
Okay. Yeah, I thought the Kumari fight was right there, but it's right here, I think. Yep. Access to cheer. I think this is a good time to get some cheers in. We'll go for 3, I think. That seems like an appropriate amount. Maybe not. I don't think we have any eye drops. Actually. Thinking about just guarding it. Let's just cheer again. It's gonna hurt a little bit more, but anything guarding would have done. We can get another cheer in, or I guess. Guard. That's gonna be kind of tough. Maybe the cheers were not the way to go. Dark attacks are super obnoxious. I think I'm gonna die here, which is fine. But what I'll do is change my strategy. We'll try it again. Okay. So this time I think what I'll do is get an attack in. We'll guard this dark attack. And now that we're blinded, we'll use this time to get our cheers in, since we can. And as long as we're inflicted with blind, we'll just keep cheering. Till we hit our 5 stacks. Oh, we have to deal thing. Kinda sucks. I'd like to get the damage in, I think. If he hits us, we're probably... This fight took me a lot longer than I think it was supposed to, mostly because I wasn't prepared going in, but while I continuously fail, let's talk about Kamari's changes. In this fight, Kamari will use Dark Attack twice, then Fire. His stats when you fight him are as follows. HP is increased from 750 to 1000, Strength is increased from 10 to 16, Magic's increased from 8 to 17, Agility is decreased from 15 to 6, Luck is increased from 15 to 17, Accuracy increased from 10 to 99. He's no longer sensor immune and drops you 55 AP along with 99 power and speed spheres when you defeat him. He's given gear that nets him 5% increases in his defense, strength, and magic during the fight. Once Kamari joins the party, he starts off with lowered agility and MP, with his agility down from 6 to 2 and MP down from 78 to 15. He did gain accuracy from 5 to 8 and starts off with the abilities Cheer, Dark Attack, Asuna, and Fire. He's truly meant to be your empty slate character in this run, meaning if you're wanting something to fill a void on your team, Kamari does that. We'll look over his sphere grid in a couple of episodes to see how the mod maker decided to change that, but I can tell you that is very interesting to say the least. I also quickly wanted to note that I'll be cutting over a couple of the failed attempts for this fight and probably any fights in the future that I make mistakes just going into. I'll probably mention it a couple of times, but one of the big things that you need to be doing before you go into these boss fights is changing your overdrives and setting them up to be as efficient as possible. The autosave that I'm loading here, I was forgetting to change my overdrive, and so I was not really ever going to be able to beat the fight if I did that. So I don't want to waste your time. Just because I skip over a fight doesn't mean that the next one is going to be the win. If it was a valid attempt or one that I thought was possible to win, then I'll probably be including it in the future. I don't think overdrives go through blindness or anything. Should be able to do it right here. And if this doesn't one-shot him, I don't know what else to do. Yeah, it's not gonna cut it, sadly. Okay, well, we have access to the overdrive. We know the overdrive is going to do about 500 damage, a little bit less actually. Okay, so we need to put in about 500 damage for Slice and Dice to be enough. Technically about 475, I think. Okay. Overdrive's ready, but we have not done nearly enough damage. We can probably get a hit in here and then heal on the next turn. So that's about 250 that we've done so far. I was kind of hoping I'd get another turn after the heal. I don't think we're gonna win this one, so I'm just gonna go first. I just want to see if Spiral Cut does more damage. Slice and Dice, probably not. I didn't think so. So I wonder if the way to go is to try to spam overdrives. The problem is, it's like by the time you even get your first overdrive, you're already kind of in a tough spot. Maybe we need a different overdrive than Loner. I figured Loner was the best one for this. We could try Victim. Victim a shot. I don't know, like, if I think certain overdrives do charge more than other ones. I don't know which ones do though. But he is hitting me with a lot of status attacks. There you go. I don't think so though. Not filling up quickly. Yeah, I think Loner is correct. And then you just want to get as many turns in as you can so that you can continue to get your overdrives. And I was thinking that maybe if you can get 2 Slice and Dices off, you would do enough damage with your first attack. I just don't know if you can survive to 2 overdrives, but we'll give it a shot. I'll be interested to see. I'll probably be watching Dan's playthrough of the game as I'm doing my own playthrough, but trying not too far ahead of him, or really go ahead of him at all, obviously. I'll be interested to see like how he does his playthrough. I think way to go is attack, guard, and anytime I can look for a weapon switch, go for that. Guard again. Check the weapon switch. Looks like we can get another turn here. Drive. We'll guard again. He should use fire here. Okay, now we have our overdrive. Slice and dice. And then we should still have a turn. Wow, we're not doing nearly the same amount of damage that we were when we were five stacks each here. We did get access to Blitz Ace, so maybe Blitz Ace. Maybe it'll be stronger. I know there's like a stronger. Maybe it'll put up enough damage by itself. My only concern is I don't know I can hit an overdrive while I'm blinded, so I'm just gonna heal here. And hope that the blind goes to waste. I don't think he fires here. Does he fire here? If he fires, I need to heal. I think I don't want to risk it. I think this is the turn he fires. I'd rather... Yeah. I think I would take more than 160. Don't die to that. Try. It's ace. This doesn't kill him. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I almost didn't get that. Wasn't enough. Jeez. Okay. So the slice and dice did about 250, and that was doing, was it 30 a hit, and then it did about 150 at the end. It gave Amari 2 turns. He died because of it. So let's try a cheer first. Maybe we need a weapon swap there as well. Like just many times let us. Instead of going for a cheer or an attack. Okay. Next turn's a fire hit. We'll still swap. Then we'll guard. Then we'll slice and dice. I promise it is not as hard as I'm making it. Get these overdone. Panicking a bit. Okay. The extra cheer seemed to help a lot. We were instead of doing about 15 we were doing. This has to be a turn where we having that second high potion probably be fairly helpful, right? Okay. and get another bit of our overdrive. Guard. One more guard, and we should have it our next one. Unfortunately, we're blinded, so I'm feeling like we're a turn behind where we need to be, which would mean I need to do a weapon swap on the first turn as well. But I'm gonna try this. Obviously, I would die. I'm gonna die if this doesn't kill. I don't think it will, but okay. So it's 8 hits at 32. We're at 30, a little over 30 apiece. Plus 262. It's about 500 damage, right? 30. Oh, yeah. I would say it's about 500 damage. Maybe a little. It's maybe a little bit more. But I think we were a turn behind where we wanted to be. Okay, so a weapon switch doesn't do anything. It does give me another turn here. It really seems counterintuitive to me to go for a cheer. Okay, and our blindness wore off there. And now well, if we slice and dice, take turns worth. This is the fire turn. So we'll guard. Then we should be able to do slice and dice. Okay, and that's about 300 damage. We just need to find another 200 damage somewhere. Now we can. Kind of have to, right? I probably should have checked for a weapon swap there. I'm a turn behind still where I want to be. I'm not really checking to see if a cheer is possible instead of a weapon swap, and I need to do that as well. So everything except for slice and dice gives him 2 turns. If I heal here, he goes fire. I think I'm still dead. I get a weapon swap in here. I can. I want to see how much health he has left. 623. Yeah, so Blitzace isn't gonna do it. I can't survive another hit. Okay. We're doing better, but we're still doing something wrong, and I'm not sure what it is. Yeah. Like I said, I think it might just be that I'm not getting some cheers in when I should be. Or like I'm going just directly to a weapon swap because I'm assuming that that's the only way to get my extra turn in. And I think I need to look and see if a cheer is possible instead. because their cheer does have a slightly higher priority. The question is that this first hit is like 120 damage. Is doing extra cheers worth the... What if we just go for the attack first? Then we go weapon swap. Not cheering here makes us miss a turn from our weapon swap. That might be okay though. Now we guard. Do another weapon swap. Another guard. We'll have overdrive on this turn. There we go. Oh. Can't weapon swap. We have to heal here. Don't have a choice. Now we can get a weapon swap in. Guard. Do another fire. Check. Sure, doesn't look like we can. Plus a guard. Another weapon swap. Or overdrive again. We did 120 plus 6 times about 60. Gonna do about 500. A little over 500. I don't think it's enough. If we don't overdrive here, thing is, like, we're dead to another hit, so like doing a spiral cut doesn't really matter. We can guard, but then we're just in the same situation. Well, I missed it anyway, so it didn't really matter. This is tough. I'm not sure what I need to do differently. I think the overdrive play is correct. And I don't think the extra cheer is really giving me much. Can't imagine Sufferer is a better choice. Okay, well, we got a crit on that one at least. Unfortunately, we can't get a weapon swap in now. Okay. I slice and dice. So that I hit it. Not get a weapon swap in. Have to heal here. Don't have a choice. So we've done about 550 damage, right? So Blitz Ace now should kill. I don't think this is the way it's intended to be won. But as long as we don't miss the Blitz Ace this time. Have it. Okay. There we go. Okay, yeah, I don't think you're supposed to get a crit to do it. Obviously, since you can't, like, guarantee crits. But that is the way that I had to get it done, so... looks like we got a new sword. We're able to put some points into the spear grid finally. A little bit stronger. And let's check and see what the new sword can do for us. So defense plus 5%. Obviously you want to keep the Brotherhood equipped since it has First Strike on it. Nobody else got any levels, it looks like. And we'll head to the next save sphere, and then that'll be the end of this episode. That fight was a lot harder than I think I thought it was going to be.
A flyer. That's your department, right?
True, true. But, why don't we let our summoner show us what she's made of?
Many enemies in this mod have new or changed elemental weaknesses. Keep an eye out with Sensor.
Your first real battle.
Show us what you're training. Okay.
Okay. In this mod, Yuna can only summon with Grand Summon. A regular summon command is disabled. Aeon stats won't increase on their own every 30 battles you fight, but they scale with Yuna's stats as normal. So a little bit of a change from normal game. I think the biggest change is the inability to use Grand Summon anymore. Or sorry, to use regular summon. So, you know, getting Yuna's overdrive up can be pretty powerful, but at the same time, you'll have to find ways to make that happen. So we do have access to our overdrive. I don't think we're going to use it just yet. This is a weak to ice. Not sure if this is considered a boss battle as well. Probably not, but... You know, if Yuna gets some AP, that'd be cool. And how much health does it have left? 600. Not gonna change its turn, so we'll just use another Blizzard. Don't really want to risk the overdrive not killing it and then dying because I let it take 3 turns in a row. Now. It did more damage than I thought it was gonna do. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting this to be pretty tough, but so far, definitely exceeded my expectations. Okay, so this time we do not have access.
No problem. Leave it. Say goodnight, bro.
We do not have access to our summon, but we do have Dark Attack. That should be enough. I do need to mess with everybody's overdrives, I think. Yuna's probably not going to be able to help us much in this fight.
Yeah.
Baka only has N and MP total. Definitely don't want to dark attack too early for this fight. Not that I think that this is going to survive too much longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll need to take a look at everybody's overdrives and figure out what's the most efficient for random encounters. For now, I'm just going to get to the next save sphere. I'm hoping that random encounters aren't able to kill me. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Danji did for the Kamari fight. Can't use thunder on it. Third. Need to get enough damage in that it can't kill me. Okay, brother, I get it. You hit fucking 17 times.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I think is I just cannot forget to get every party member in to every boss fight. If I forget to do that, I will need to redo every boss fight, the boss fight over, because I genuinely don't think there's a way to complete the game if you fall behind on AP per character. So, well, I mean, at least that character won't be able to be used, or it's going to be a lot harder. So. That being said, I'm going to end the episode there. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions or tips for this playthrough, it would be greatly appreciated, because I'm going to struggle a bit and don't want to be playing this for the next 10 years of life. That being said, if you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one. I don't expect there to be too much talking during the cloisters. Not to say that there won't be at all, but you know, most of the cloisters is just remembering the puzzles that you have to get out. Like obviously the tutorial cloister, so there's pretty much nothing here. But yeah, and this is why I'm cutting these till the end, because I do not remember anything except for maybe Ixion's cloister. Other than that, I don't really any of them. Where does this goes up top? Yeah, and I'm not gonna take time to go go watch how to do all the cloisters. I may double check how to get all the chests that are in them. I know this isn't it either, but where we got it from. That's right. So the Besaid sphere is in here. Put it in hole and a little pillar across, but we can't do that because the construction sphere's in it. You can throw it in here. Grab the construction sphere. Put that in here. That will get you your chest, which normally has a weapon for Yuna, if I remember correctly, or maybe a weapon for Kamari. But with the mod, I'm gonna guess that it's like a Phoenix. I don't think you can get weapons and stuff from that, so maybe you can. I thought that it changed it so you don't get weapons or anything. So we get magic booster, double overdrive, silence proof. One she has now is half empty cost. And the I think like weapon switching and stuff also gives you some benefits. There's a lot more like kind of tactical thought in what you equip, and then like during battle there are going to be times where you're going to want to switch weapons kind of mid-battle. That'll be interesting. I'm very interested to see where this mod goes.